everybody. I'm Fiera Luna, and I play games on the internet. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Today, we're playing Phoenix Wright. Justice for All. You guys know the part we're on. I fixed it. Okay. Sorry, I am also munching delicious things. You're right, Maya is kidnapped. She has Aurora kidnapped. Oh. Okay. We are gonna solve a mystery. Solve a murder, even. Murders. It's gonna be great. Okay, let's go. There we go. Glad I got the everything out. Oh, yeah. Right, we saved partway through. What did you do today? I bet you did arts. I bet you did arts. And are we missing anything in here? Well, I guess we'll learn. We've already seen that part. Okay. What have I got in my court record? A wine glass. Yikes. Right. You posted on Tumblr? Oh, I bet they loved that. Are you posting on Tumblr right now? No. Right now I'm drawing. Are you doing a draw to post on the Tumblr? Are you drawing Sifrin again? Are you sure? Is Sifrin shaped like a star? You're sure? Ow! Stop! Stop! Stop, I want my controller back. I know I'm the one who knocked it over. I want it back. No, give it back. Nerve to ask, are you gonna be more careful? No. Never. Be more careful. Never happen. Oh god. Where are we going? Pearl?
Well, I think we've gathered about all we can.
What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all, and has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh, no. I'm okay. Really, I'm fine. I really am.
You don't look fine to me.
Her sprite looks the same as usual. Thank you for letting us know, Phoenix, that she's not fine. It's important. I have Dr. Pepper, but also cream soda in it. They make it this way now. I too have Dr. Pepper. Hooray! Chat also has Dr. Pepper.
How do I get out?
How escape? How leave? Okay, that's how leave. We've got 1 day to find somebody innocent. So, what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Ms. Andrews has a motive.
You mean Miss Impact's suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever.
Ah! Mr. Nick! The transceiver!
Hello? This is the law office of Wright & Co. Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone.
Maya! Where's Maya?
As I promised, I have not come within a few feet of her this whole time.
Ew.
Which is why, I suppose, she is absolutely famished.
What?
So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost, wouldn't you agree?
Wait, Maya! Let me hear her!
Very well.
Ask my...
Maya, is that you?
Sis! Ask my sis!
Maya! Maya! Damn it, he cut me off.
Mystic Maya said, ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis? What does she mean by that? Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Sorry. Mia!
Welcome back, Mia. Pearl can do it. On a dime. Drop of a hat, that girl can summon a spirit. She's just like, oh no, it's not me that that they want. It's definitely the best of us. Best sister.
I've come with a message from Maya. So come, ask me anything you want about her.
Who should you draw next? Good question. Oh, there is one thing that I have to do, actually, while I'm thinking of it. Who should you draw next? Okay. Let's see. Surely it should be Mirabelle or Bonnie. More of the cast.
How's Maya? She's safe for now. That kidnapper is one to keep his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe, but Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like this. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper. What's he like? I don't know. Apparently, Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And? She didn't see the face of her attacker. Maya's locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her?
Ah, mystery time and place. We love mystery time and place. This is my favorite.
Oh.
Tonight's snack is pasta. It's homemade mac and cheese that I put tomato sauce all over. When I say homemade mac and cheese, it is not what you are thinking. There's lots and we made a cheese sauce, like the kind where you make a roux and everything. And then we put those swirly spiral noodles in. Not the rotini noodles, but the ones that are like macaroni noodles on the inside, but they're long. And then there's, of course, taco spiced hamburger. There were breadcrumbs on top, but something happened to them. It was me. I happened to them. Oh, no. Okay. I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not gonna die! Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. One moment.
Okay, what do we got? Huh? Someone dropped a card here. It kind of looks like a business card, but there's no name on it.
That's the card that What's-Her-Face was fussing with.
It's a picture of a seashell, I think.
You'll remember that What's-Her-Face? Adrienne? Whatever her name was. This was a card she was fussing with. What a strange card.
What's this? It feels like there are a lot of glass bottles here. And these, they feel like barrels. I'll pass. Too bad I'm really hungry and not really thirsty. There's all sorts of things piled up here, but it's too dark to see. I'm still betting money on the killer guy's name being Shelly or something silly like that. Oh no, that's a lot of glass bottles. Drat, it's locked. But this door's lock seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard, then click! They magically open the door. I wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. Ah, that's it! The shell card! If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. Oh, fun fact. That's a real thing that you can really do. You can't do it as much anymore because most doors have guards on them that prevent this sort of thing. But what you're doing when you do this is you slot the stiff piece of cardboard or the very thin piece of plastic or metal. Credit cards also used to work for this. You slot it into the door, and because of the way the mechanism is, you know how door thingies are always like a little like curved, like the little latch that slots in there. What you're doing is pressing on that curve, and you slowly press that curve in, and then you can open the door that way. Most doors don't let you do that anymore. They're shaped wrong to do it, or you can't slot the card in, or like there's a whole number of things. There are some doors, though, where you still can. Especially if you can get the card far enough in behind and angle it just right, you can still pull the same trick. So if you are ever kidnapped like Maya, you can escape. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting or worried. Oh, really even. Oh, we are leaving. Straight up. Wow, really? Guys, we saved like this close to that. Oh, no. Alright, I think we're doing murder stuff. Yep. Adrian! Yeah, her name was Adrian. Right, what accent did I give you? Oh, I think I made you a valley girl, didn't I? Because, like, you're, like, not quite like a valley girl, but you are definitely, like, one of those poppy... Yeah, because he's definitely, like, one of those poppy, like, action, like, guys that just does not know how to function. This is a man who's very sweet and means well, but doesn't know how to do anything. Like, I bet he would pour the entire bottle of dish soap in to do dishes. Like, he'd want to help, and he'd just put the whole thing in there and not understand. And then he'd never touch dishes again. Because last time he did, you got mad at him. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way! That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that'll implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer? Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Mia? We must get a complete acquittal today. I know. I can't focus on Mia's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. It's him. This is Wright. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Mia, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For myself, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial opens. Even if you don't like my gift. I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest. If you please. Wait! The kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer?
Yeah, he needed that. If I could have pulled a Michelangelo accent, I would have done. Welcome in, Red! Hi, welcome in! Welcome in! Thank you for the sub! Yay! 14 months! That's so many months! You're right, it's been a while. How do I... Yasashiburi? Yeah, I think. Yeah. I'm so good at this. I'm gonna remember how to language good. Welcome in! We're streaming very late tonight, and that is because aquarium staff is doing preliminary testing. They want to do something fun, and I don't know what, but I'm very excited for them, and me. There's going to be crochet streams on Fridays again. I'm very excited to do this thing. Not this Friday, because I'm not ready yet, but next Friday. And I'm very excited. Every Friday in December, we're going to make something cute. I'm gonna bother aquarium staff. It has to be Friday because Cool Staff's in on Friday, so I'm gonna borrow Cool Staff, and I'm gonna ratatouille her a little bit, just a little bit. I would never do that, you know, of course. But like, also I need hands because you all have hands, so I need them. Yes, in Stars in Time, I know the star harms you. I am glad you are harmed by Loop, because it means the story was poignant and good. Anyway, 8-year-old's possessed by a lady. Oh no, the judge. Oh no, sir, I don't know if I can give you your voice tonight. We'll try.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mad on Guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Where's...
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Ms. Von Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor!
Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Ms. Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Ho! Hold up! Who would do this to our girl Francisca? Who would do this? I'm sorry about your wife, Val. Who would do this to her? She's too beautiful. I was all set. I was all set to have to do my voice for her. I was all ready to put V's in place of W's and weird F's and everything. And in front of my grapes, too. Not in front of my salad. I was all set. I was all set to be angry. About Mr. Phoenix Wright and his dreams of foolishly winning this foolish case, etc. Now we're gonna host a funeral or something. SMH. Exactly. Oh no. We're gonna solve 2 murders today. Murder.
What?
Shot? somehow. I think this is the present the man was talking about. His present? Ms. Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she disappeared, this would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Ms. Von Karma, is she alright?
I don't have that answer.
She's alive and in stable condition.
That's good. Your lore!
I thought he'd show up. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally.
Edgeworth! Get your water, fam. He's alive. Okay. So, when I originally played this game, before I understood that Edgeworth was definitely alive, I thought it'd be the funniest thing to have Pearl or Maya, like to have this be Pearl or Maya, especially if this was Maya, show up and just channel him. Because I legit was like, is he dead though? I thought it'd be the funniest thing for Maya to be channeling him. But no, he's alive. Yes, Val no longer needs their water anymore. Franziska's not in the rest of this case.
Ms. Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt on guard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand.
Ace Attorney courts are so gay. Yes, they are. The tension. The tension. This man. Phoenix has thought that this man has been dead for a year. Because when Edgeworth left to study law in faraway lands and never returned for a little while, when he Lion King'd his way out and wandered off, he left a note that was the most dramatic thing on earth, which was just like, oh, the old Edgeworth is dead, kind of deal. And like, everyone rightly read that as, oh no, he died. Because he left this in the prosecutor's office at the top of a building and was gone without a trace. I'd be in the witness stand like, these two need to kiss. Yes. Good. Good that you do. So here he is back. We've already seen him once. Phoenix was like, excuse me, what are you doing here? And also alive? Hello? So here he is again. At least he's not on trial for murder. This is good. He is often on trial for murder. Not as often as Maya.
Witness, your name and occupation.
My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now. Why am I so sneezy? Ah, I'm not even sick. There's just something itchy. I don't like it. I don't even have a nose.
For now.
Well, after this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe? The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me the answer you finally found, Edgeworth. There's a ship for Edgeworth and Gumshoe, isn't there? Yes. Absolutely there is. Like, okay, so there's a perfectly sensible ship for Phoenix and Edgeworth. Totally normal and reasonable. I also think that the folks who ship Gumshoe and Edgeworth are also totally reasonable. Like, I get it. Like, I see it. It's not what I go for because I am very hard into Phoenix and Edgeworth because they're adorable, but I do see it. I 100%. Because, okay, so Edgeworth is your typical, like, he's very good at the thing that he does, but his emotional stability is no. Whereas then you've got Gumshoe, who's very sweet and not necessarily as good at what he, like, does regular, but his emotional stability is yes. Yeah, like, you see the vision, right? Like, you've got this very, like, book smart person, and you've got somebody who's just, like, this very book smart person who doesn't, like, necessarily understand how to interact with other human beings. And you've got somebody sweet and caring. It's got, like, oh, actually, you know what? Edgeworth Gumshoe has the same things I like in it as Martin and John in TMA. TVH, a lot of ships have ammo in Phoenix Wright. I know, right? Another favorite ship of mine is Maya Francisca. I don't think it's healthy, but boy, is it exciting to watch, you know? Yeah. And, like, Gumshoe's really sweet and optimistic. And, like, 100%, he would throw down, like, he'd take a bullet for Edgeworth. He'd take a pay cut for this man. He'd buy this man dinner, even though he doesn't have any money to buy dinner with. He would forgo eating for a month to buy dinner for Edgeworth for, like, a day. Like, that's a thing he'd do. You know that he would. Whereas, like, Edgeworth, on the other hand, would be like, oh, it's coming out of your salary, and then, like, 10 minutes later would be, like, raising this poor guy's salary. I feel like every time Edgeworth's like, it's coming out of your salary, that's just, like, a show for everybody else to be like, I'm so mean and tough and a fancy prosecutor. But he wouldn't really. Because Edgeworth does secretly believe in justice. It's not secret. He does. Exactly. Like, in Edgeworth's case, I feel like it's less that he says it's coming out of your salary and more that he says this will be reflected in your next salary review. And, like, people who think he should get less are like, wah! And people who... Wow, Edgeworth's so strong and fancy and such a good prosecutor, and people who think he should get more is like, what a jerk! And he just doesn't care. See, I want to see the ship of Maya Francisca, but I don't think they've interacted enough to be shipped. Fun fact about shipping and fanfiction. Maya Francisca is entirely built upon the rock of Maya being like, oh... We're literally the same age, and she has her life so together. She is so together. Like, look at her. She's got a job and stability, and she's so good at the thing that she does.
And I am absolutely garbage. I can't even do the one thing that I should be able to do. I was born into this family, and I'm supposed to take it over, and my sister was amazing, and my cousin is amazing, and I'm not. I'm trash. Oh no. Which is why I don't think it's healthy. But why I do think it's interesting to look at the dynamic. It's entirely built upon that rock, though. I guess I ain't understanding how shipping works. With shipping, you can ship anyone. You can put any two characters in a box, regardless of how often they've interacted, and write all about them. You can write all about them smooching if you want to. And in fact, sometimes, if you're people like me, you go into fandoms and be like, give me your two characters, give me your rare pair, I'll write the ship. I'll do it. You can ship that piece of chocolate and, I don't know, a spider or something. You can. I don't know what series that is, or if it's a series at all, but you can do it. You can be like, darn, Twilight Sparkle and Mordecai. Can we pretend that airplanes in the skies? I couldn't do it. Couldn't get through it. I tried. Yeah. Some people ship the most absolutely horrible people together, not because they think it's a good idea, but because it's interesting to read. That's the same reason that some people read romance novels, certain romance novels. Interview with a Vampire is so darn popular, the book I mean, because both those men are just garbage. Louis and Lestat, absolutely toxic people in very different ways. They don't gel well together. They don't go well apart. They can't do anything right, and it's hilarious. Like, do you know what Lestat's response to Louis being like, I think we should see other people is? Lestat's response to I think we should see other people is to vampirize a child and bring her home and be like, now we have a daughter. Like, his response is... That's his response to this situation. Claudia's great. 10 out of 10. She didn't... No, he vampirized her straight up. I mean, yes, kidnapping. He kidnaps a little girl, vampirizes her, and brings her home and is like, we have a daughter now. We're family. You can't leave. And, like, that's not the worst thing he does. That's not the worst thing Lestat does over the course of that book. And in fact, it's one of the tamer things Lestat does over the course of that book. Louis, on the other hand, is like, oh, woe is me. Lestat is so weird and terrible and monstrous, and I am so weird and terrible and monstrous because I am a vampire. Oh, I am going to whine and cry about it. I know, right? Like, it's messed up, but it's so good. Like, it's so interesting to just watch the conflicts between them. Like, honestly, you don't even necessarily need the vampirism angle, but I love it anyway. There's wild stuff in Interview with a Vampire. There's wild stuff in Anne Rice's old vampire books, period. Like, oh boy, oh no. The dynamic on that must be insane. It is! Okay, so Lestat is the one who turned Louis, because he was like, darn, that guy over there, brooding, mysterious, sad boy. I love a brooding, mysterious, sad boy. He's poetic. He's poetry incarnate. I like that about him. Nom 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 nom. I must have it for my own. Nom 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 nom. That's okay. Sorry for being a boomer. Lol. Nah, it's okay. Shipping tends to be a thing that you usually only see, shipping and fanfiction in general, and transformative works like that, you only usually see from people who don't see themselves represented in the media that they're consuming. And because so much media is designed for, so much media tends to be designed for, cishet men ages 18 to 35, you're going to see a lot of shipping come from people who aren't that thing I said. A lot of fan fiction's going to come out of that. You can see the same thing actually happen. You can see why that is happen with Steven Universe. Because that's where you see curative fandom, which is the kind of fandom that seeks to... The kind of folks who update wikis. Those people are part of something why I call... what I like to call curative fandom. They're the ones going through and being like, okay, Two-Face's coin in the Batcave is exactly this big, and it's exactly this thick, and judging by the things around it, it had ought to be approximately this big and this thick, and if it's made of what he says it's made of, then it's this heavy. And those people are super helpful. But they tend to be people who already see themselves represented in the fiction that they're reading. Whereas, I am an octopus, and I am very rarely represented in the fiction that I am reading. Or if I am, it is as an octopus, as like a spooky monster. Which is great, I love that. But like, sometimes I would like to be cool. And the 1 million Loud House fanfic, yes. Honestly explains why my sister writes fanfiction. Exactly. You'll see a lot of women in a fanfiction space or in a transformative fandom space. Like role-playing fanfiction, fan art, stuff like that. And that's because there's just not a lot of media geared that way. That's also popular in the mainstream. So transformative fandom is something that you normally see people engage in if they're not represented in the media itself. You can see it because when Steven Universe came around, you saw a lot more fan fiction come out of that, and fan art and stuff come out of that from guys in the community. Like, you still saw a lot, don't get me wrong, you still saw a lot come from women in the community and stuff, but most of us already saw ourselves represented there one way or another, and we're like, hey, I know that person, that's me! She's me for real, but also a cool gemstone. So you saw more curative fandom instead. You saw women in the curative space, where they would be like, and this is Pearl, and Pearl does this, and Pearl does that, and she's this, and this is her look from the 80s, and this is her look from the 90s, and this is the tri-state area, and so on and so forth. And, yeah, that is all a very long way to say if you don't see yourself represented in a fandom, you are probably going, or in a work, you are probably going to engage in the transformative sides of that fandom. And if you do see yourself represented, you are much more likely to engage in the curative side of that fandom. That said, those two places are not mutually exclusive. You can do both. And the other thing is that I write a lot of transformative works, and I rely on the curative parts of the fandom to be able to tell me things. If I want to write somebody getting crushed by that Two-Face coin in Batman's Batcave, I need to know how big it is and what it's made out of, so that I can write the right thing. We don't engage in shipping wars. That was a thing back in the day. Actually, that was one of the very first things that started, we used to say, Romo and no Romo. We used to say that once. And what we were talking about in those days was Mulder and Scully of X-Files fame. If y'all don't know who those are, I'm sorry. X-Files is amazing. It was a wonderful TV show, and if you ever get the chance, you should watch a couple episodes from the earlier seasons because it was 10 out of 10 wonderful. After about season 6 or 7, it's kind of rough. And that's partially because Gillian Anderson, the actress who played Dana Scully, was pregnant, and partially because they moved the filming from one place to another, and another place was rough to film in, and partially because they had a whole bunch of management changes and stuff. And budget changes came with that. But don't worry, X-Files is great. I love it a lot. But in those days, oh, glad I'm learning about this now. I know, right? But in those days, it was a lot of will they or won't they tension, because that's what TVs like to do. TV shows always had a will they or won't they couple. Oh, welcome in! We get distracted talking about shipping and the history of fandom and stuff. Don't worry, we'll get back to solving murders momentarily. But I noticed, lol, I know, right? But in those days, the people who were all, yeah, they definitely will, were very fervent in their beliefs. And the people who were like, no, they won't. This isn't that kind of story. Were also very fervent in their beliefs. And because those things cannot coexist simultaneously until the Titanic episode that introduces us to the concept of alternate universes being a real thing in the show, because those things can't coexist simultaneously, there were fights. The fights primarily revolved around, I think it should be this way, and here's my proof. And someone else going, I think that proof is dumb. We got started because I was like, yeah, there's definitely a vision for Gumshoe and Edgeworth. Yes, there is. It's not my favorite ship, but it is really good. I know, right? Emotionally... Edgeworth's emotional stability is no. Random Titanic episode out of nowhere. It's true. It was this fun, like, little time travel. We all thought it was time travel, and then it turned out to be alternate universe. And in that random alternate universe thing, Mulder and Scully kiss. Like, they are. That is a romantic one. But it's not technically canon to the main timeline, so it made it so much worse for fandom. Because, like, you'd think it would make it better. You'd think people would be like, oh, there's alternate universes, so it could be anything. But, of course, the Romo people were like, well, I'm right. And the no Romo people were like, it doesn't count because it's not the main timeline, and what are you talking about? Just because something happens in one alternate universe doesn't mean it happens in every alternate universe. Like, we know negaverses are a thing in other series. Like, this can't be real. And it went on. And it was the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing to me. And I'm just like, wow. I thought the Spurk fandom was bad. I thought they were rough around the edges. But boy howdy, Spurk is Spock Kirk, in case anyone is curious about what that is. I thought that they were a bit weird around the edges. And to be fair, it's okay. Like, they were, I say they, like I wasn't also doing this. We were writing letters back and forth to each other before the internet became a thing. So, like, we didn't have forums. A letter would show up in the mail and you'd be like, dang, let's go. Or, like, a zine would show up in the mail and you'd be like, yeah, this is great. And it would have, like, fan art and fan fiction in it. And you could add to that if, like, you knew someone who knew someone who knew the person who put it together. Or you could make your own and send it out to people you knew on the mailing list. It was so good. You guys don't know what mailing lists are anymore. But imagine, like, because you don't know what a web ring is either. I was about to say, imagine, like, a web ring, but it was, like... manual, you had to do it yourself. And that was I don't know how to explain anymore, because, like, you're all spoiled by AO3. You're all spoiled. Stream category change. Oh, I know, right? A web ring is like a ring of websites. Yeah. No, that's true. It's a bunch of a web ring is literally just a bunch of related websites, and, like, usually at the bottom of the page, you'll see a bunch of sites in the web ring. You take your life into your hands with those, though, because sometimes you'll be going through the web ring and one of the chain links is broken and you have no idea how to get there. And it might only be broken on one of the pages, but you don't know which one. So, like, if you have a web ring of, like, 6 or 8 comics, like Hiveworks is a web ring. It's one of the last ones I can think of. That's a webcomic web ring. So they've got the little pictures of everybody's webcomic, and back in the day, you would go to one part of that web ring, and they'd have all the little pictures of everybody's comic. But if you were really unlucky, sometimes a person would change their URL, but not update any of the people in the web ring. Or they would update people in the web ring, but one of the other sites in that ring wasn't being maintained. And, like, you just click on the little picture and be like, yeah, let's go. And then it didn't. And you'd be sad. It's true. Y'all are spoiled by filters and tags and things like that. Do you know what we did on fanfiction.net? When that was a thing? You know what we did? We took our life into our hands. We looked at the title. We looked at the description. We clicked on it. And we prayed. that we wouldn't see a thing we didn't want to see. We would get the wildest things. The author's notes would always be ridiculous. You would get author's notes on FFnet at the beginning and at the end and in the middle. You would get things like lemon starts here, don't like, don't read. You would also get things filled with emojis and stars and like, you would get more emojis than an MLM pitch in the author's notes. And there would be things at the end in the author's notes, and I was not immune to this because I was also a youth. At the end of the author's notes, especially if you were like a very silly person or writing a very silly like joke story, you would get like, why do you'd get the author interacting directly with the characters, and it was always in that like completely illiterate RP way, the star nuzzle star. Yeah, sorry for the late update. I had brain surgery last week. That's an AO3 note for sure, but fanfiction.net had them too. You'd get, oh, sorry for the late update. And then you'd get like the dialogue thing, and you'd get the dialogue thing, and it'd be like Inuyasha being like, yeah, geez, what's wrong with you? I got hit by a car. Was the car's name Shishomaru? No, like an actual car. What's a car? Like, that would be the joke, and you'd be like, excuse me? Did you actually get hit by a car? Or are you like, or is this lol so random? And my personal favorite, of course, was, this is an MLM ship? Don't like, don't read. If that makes you uncomfy, go away. Nobody wants you. And like, it would go on for like a paragraph, and you'd be like, strong feelings on this one. I see you've been told before it doesn't belong. Like, I see you've had to deal with those people before. Sorry for the late update, followed by the worst news imaginable. Exactly. One of the ones was like, sorry for the late update. My dad died, I was at his funeral, and I didn't remember to bring my computer with me. And I'm like, whoa, honey. Go. What? Perhaps, maybe. Ever read My Immortal? Yes. Should I have? No. Ebony Darkness Ravenway, though. 10 out of 10. Classic. That is not a way to cope, lol. I know, right? It is for some people. Oh, yes, author's notes that are like, oh, I can't wait for you. Oh, no, there's a better, oh, can't wait for y'all to see the next chapter. You know what happens when you go, oh, can't wait for y'all to see the next chapter. 90% of the time, it's really good. The other 10% of the time, it's not there. Fic just abandoned. Gone. They didn't mean to abandon it, but it's gone. They haven't been active since 2012. Or earlier. I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was, because he's a major hottie. Yes! Oh, sorry, I forgot her whole name. Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way. I forgot that part. She do love Draco. To be fair. To be fair. But the spelling changed partway through. Yes, that's true. Author for gore. Fear, I need you to explain the whole plot to me later tonight. No, I can explain the whole plot of My Immortal. Goth self-insert love Draco Malfoy. We did it. We did it. Everybody else, sad face. Author for gore. Exactly. Author for gore. Yeah, we can do some more doodling. Sales are on at the Black Lion Company. Also, just saying. Also, you can get 3 Black Lion keys for like a pittance of mats. Listen, I don't know how to draw nothing. See, what Val asked me to do, or what I suggested, I don't remember, was, I know, I'll draw the thing from the thing you like with 0 reference. Surely this will be the most hilarious thing I have done. And it was,
Do you know that Actually game where they're given like a character from something or like a character or a thing from mythology and they're asked to draw that thing? And like if you know the mythology, you're like, I know exactly what that looks like. How could you mess that up? But if you don't know the mythology, you're like, seems all right. And then they grade them on like, okay, let's see if you got the main points of the thing that it was. I got the strawberry head and the green little strawberry fluff for hair and big eyes. And that's kind of it. Because I don't play the game. So I was just going off vague memories of a description. Eyes weren't big enough and accurate. Sounds like you nailed it then. I know, right? I drew another one with actual reference and was like, this is much better. Very silly, but much better. All right, we hydrate as Chad demands. We probably needed that. We should play the game soon. Oh yeah, we are playing a game, aren't we? And then a big stretch. Yeah, big stretch. Okay, let's do some twists. I think we should. I like doing little twists because it means I get to twist around in the water and Staff is like, what are you doing? Twirling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I did it. Okay, oil. I said poyo. Poyo means the thing works. Nothing will beat that Astro drawing in my mind. Don't you talk about that Astro drawing. He's trying his best. Alright, back to the video game, probably. I know, you did. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. I don't think that's true. It was wet on top.
After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room?
Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their rooms, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Whoops. But of what? I want to know of what? Tell me what? The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Corrida was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to the bandana.
Banana?
His bandana, sir. Now, that's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana.
Judge! I know we just got through a bandana being something, like, awful. That poor little girl, by the by. Oh my golly. That poor little animal tamer. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the circus case, which we are finally done, but that poor little girl. Yeah, Regina's a sweetheart. Probably. Then, what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Good that we got the autopsy report. Well, at first we thought there... Oh, wait. No, I don't have to worry about that. And why do you think that? Well, because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. So where is it? Where is it? All of her suitors should be in jail. That's not true. The acrobat was like 17 or 18 or something. He was closer. He was closer in age than the rest of them. Wasn't he? I feel like he was close. I feel like I was like, well, at least he's a little bit closer than the rest. But like, who knows? 22. Okay, never mind. Doing some math. Yeah, no, never mind. I thought he was younger because he looks younger. Japan. Japan, please. Why are you like this? Maybe just make Regina 18, okay? Maybe like... maybe just a couple of years on her, alright? Like, I know I make the joke in Bravely Default that Indy is 15 in Japan, because she is. But like... maybe that was the right choice. Maybe it was the right choice to age everybody up a few years. Just saying. Well, and we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh! Well, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but... But? Just maybe, I know, right? The only fingerprints in the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh?
I see. Oh, so much for my theory then.
Okay. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Are you sure? What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? Well, the guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Hey, Pierre, think I should make myself a card? What do you think? Probably. I probably should too. But... Oh, did you know? Did you know? Mint is making me something nice. I'm very excited. He is currently, NaNoWriMoing. Because every November he does writing. Lots of writing. And then he posts about it on Blue Sky. Which I'm very excited for. You should go follow his progress. It's great. He posts about that and archaeology and ancient things and stuff. Oh, good! I'm glad. Yeah. And dice. Lots of dice. I'm a dice gremlin. Doesn't post the writing, just posts about it. No, that's true. It's Blue Sky. He posts things like he posts progress things and like little bits of like, wow, writing sure do be a thing. And stuff like that, especially during Nano. And I think he follows me back, he do, I think. I don't remember. It sure do be, I know, right? Is there an ESAT tag on Blue Sky? Yes. Absolutely, both ESAT and In Stars in Time. Just be careful. Blue Sky has strong moderation tools. I think we're off topic again. How could this have happened? Listen, I got 9 brains and they're not always thinking about the same thing. Sometimes they're thinking about this. Sometimes they're thinking about all sorts of stuff. Sometimes they're like, wow, I want to write right now. The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrida, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Or he put something else in there.
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So the guitar case was empty before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why, then, did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Oh, very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir. As opposed to accidentally stabbing him.
I mean, this is a Phoenix Wright game. Accidentally stabbing somebody happens more than once. Pretty sure. Oh, and then there's, of course, accidentally shooting someone, which solves the murder years later. Von Karma. Baby Edgeworth out there setting up. Baby Edgeworth out there setting up for later. That gunshot didn't kill his dad. That got into Von Karma's arm. I could fix him. Poor Edgeworth. I could fix him. Or make him worse. Who knows? I do. Make him worse. Alright, why are we arresting on guard?
Matt on guard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume and was found in Mr. On Guard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes it a premeditated murder.
I don't think that's true.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
Well, it was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Okay, now we got a knife. And there's this button.
Oh, that was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir.
What?
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? Huh. I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions.
The tension is palpable.
What do you have?
A knife!
No!
Yes! I would. No, Steph, it's fine. No. I don't. Look! See? See, all 8 tentacles, none of them with a knife. I don't have a real knife, it's a vine. You know, do it for the vine. I didn't ask for a knife. I want a crown, not a knife. Why would I want a knife? I don't cut my food up when I eat it. I just eat it. I put it in my mouth and it goes in my belly. Okay, yes, I take dainty little nibbles with my beak, and it's very small. I know. One shrimpy can keep you busy for days. That's not true. You like shrimpies. Keep me busy for like 5 minutes. Tops. Fair, can I have a knife? No. Steph won't even let me have a knife. Not that I want it. I want a crown.
Down, down, king of bones in your coral crown.
I want that.
But I deserve to do a little stabby stab. No, you don't. Okay, what about a dagger? Daggers are infinitely cooler.
Poor Phoenix. Okay, why are we arresting the why? Okay, that button. That's true, we know. Yeah, yeah. What about it?
Do you have any proof that the button belonged to the victim?
Huh? I don't get you, pal.
Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Huh?
But can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. Alright, I knew it had to be a piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal.
That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. Okay. When was this button found?
Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. Then we did a search on them all, and that's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people.
Hey, what is he trying to say about me here?
How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? What do you mean, pal?
Ooh, got him. Get wrecked.
By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Oh, is that what he meant? Well, he didn't actually think of that.
I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So the defendant, the owner... So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then?
Wait a sec.
Hang on. Isn't... Oh, welcome in, welcome in! Maybe press on motive. I feel like I want to look at the knife. I want to look at it because I think it's the one. No, that's not what I need. There's didn't I have a picture of? Oh. No, that's not it. Didn't I have a picture of the... No, I guess not. Wait, I meant to go back. Ah, gosh darn it. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't just some pocket knife. It's not really useful for anything, and you can't just walk around with it either. Because I think that looks like the knives that the hotel has.
This isn't good. If the prosecution can prove this was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully, before it's too late. a button covered in the victim's blood, and a knife with on guard's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weaknesses. So let's find the weakness in his testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix?
Yeah. I think that's Gatewater Hotel knives. I don't think he bought that. I don't think he bought it. I think he picked it up from, like, if he picked it up from anywhere. But, like, do we present the knife? Gatewater is engraved. Yes, it's a Gatewater knife. I knew it looked like that. Let's go. He didn't buy that knife.
Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument for that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife.
The music changed. We did it.
Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll know what I'm talking about. Huh?
Oh, it has a Gatewater seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. Gumshoe! That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel.
Which, by the by, was like 2 streams ago where I finally got the joke that it's called the Gatewater Hotel. Why are you whipping me when he's the one being silly? I know. It's okay, I'm okay. Francisca isn't here, so I have to make up for it. Yes, of course. Francisca's not here, so you gotta make up for Scruffy! Why didn't you say the knife was from the Gatewater Hotel?
Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel. Which means this murder was not premeditated. It's like I can still hear her voice.
Stop telling people that I am dead! Miles, stop telling people that I am dead! As you can see, I am very much alive.
And then you'd see her curtsy. And like, do that little curtsy motion. And then you'd be like, oh no.
Rabble rabble from the peanut gallery.
Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't know... Oh... The question is, where did this knife come from?
Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Karita's room.
Destroying my male best friend with facts and logic. Update. You'd see an update video later. You'd see an update video later. That's just destroying my male best friend with facts and logic. We're dating? Yeah. And then you'd see the same title, update 2, we're married? And then a cute picture with Trixie. With our little magician child. Remind me to draw that later. Very well. I know, right?
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect.
Did I call her Trixie? Her name is Trucy. Trixie is the magician pony. Probably. Yeah. Trixie's the magician pony. They have a very similar color palette in my defense. And also are both magicians, also in my defense. Would it be too early for me to say she's me for real? You'll see. Trucy is great.
Ooh. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of that table.
Oh, the knife's still there. Consider, one of them is a horse. This is true facts.
Oh, there's a knife and fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard.
Well, there is a missing knife there.
Especially what is on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife?
Edgeworth! Perhaps. We know this.
We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt on guard's knife was missing. Mr. on guard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
No!
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
It seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning. He did. This must be one of those traps that I just walked headlong into.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I think this one might actually be a case we're supposed to lose. Nah, don't worry about it. You stay off the wiki. I know where we are. I know what's going on.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of Your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown. He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well, Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present the court?
I do! I have to! I mean, like...
There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Thanks for clarifying, Mia. Exactly. Fear, get out of my computer. Never. I know where you are. Also, I have a very small beak. I bet I could get into most people's computers. It's not so small, but it's small enough. Get right in there. If I were... oh. I bet I could get staff to do the math. Staff! 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 How many big is my beak? No, I don't want to figure it out myself. I want you to tell me. You measure these things. What do you mean I don't hold still long enough for you to measure these things? You've never held still a day in your life. And you didn't start now, and you are especially difficult to wrangle. That's what they've told me. Difficult to wrangle. It's not hard to secure an octopus. I'm 4 centimeters tall. want to know how big my beak is. How big's my beak? Ah. They are not reaching into measure. Rude. Very well. Back to it then.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, Wright, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
I want to put the wine glass.
If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us.
Because it wasn't knocked over, so there wasn't a struggle. So then, like, I mean, maybe there was, maybe there wasn't, but, like, that wine glass was just vibing there. Goodness, staff. I miss Cool Staff. Cool Staff is in on Fridays. That's why we play Spooky Stories on Friday, usually. Because Cool Staff is in. And that means if I get scared, then I can be like, Cool Staff, I'm scared. And then Cool Staff and the one that thinks I'm cute, which are both in on Fridays, will be like, aww. And then I get to snuggle into blankets. I still remember playing Platform 8. That was so much fun. I was so frightened. There was a guy. I was like, do. And then I walked a little bit. And then there was a guy. He was right there. It was like, look at this sign. Until it says, don't look at this sign. And I'm like, okay. And then I looked at that sign. And then it was like, look over there. There was this big thump. And it was like, look at that. And I was like, what? And then it was bad news. One of the doors, one of them was like, don't look behind you. And I was like, okay. And then it had breathing down my neck. And then it had footsteps behind me. And if I had a neck, I would probably be very upset. But I was very upset anyway. It was spooky. I liked it. Maybe I'm just, that's my whole health bar. That's the whole thing. That's how much life I'm going to lose if I mess this up.
Well, you may now present one, and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
It better be the wine glass. It better be that wine glass.
Okay.
Nope. We didn't save state. I'm just really hoping this is right.
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup was all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over, along with everything else, was this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say?
Well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yeah, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with your puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth?
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion?
You don't need my opinion. Because there's no special meaning to that glass.
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place.
Phoenix right now. Yes, exactly. That is our boy Phoenix. At like half the time. We're done for. We're fine. It's fine. You guys, it's fine. This is how we always are. Have I shown you the meme video of like... Have I shown you the meme video of the difference between how Edgeworth prepares for a case and how Phoenix prepares for a case? Like... And here's the autopsy report, sir. Great. I wonder how Wright prepares for a case. And he's just got like the red string board out. I'll find the video so I can show you guys. It's hilarious.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Okay, so we know that we know that this was true because this is there and that was there, but they weren't really. And so, do you know who the victim is? Or the defendant? At least tell me. Like, it was great. I do love that animator. That animator is where I got the joke of Edgeworth. I thought you were dead for a whole year. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible. Mr. Wright?
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? No. There's no way. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. They just might fall for it, if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head, yet again as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it.
What? We are bluffing.
You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Then...
Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims, nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews.
What? Ugh. Edgeworth going for the throat, lol. Yeah, I know, right? He's always after our throat. It's fine. We can do this. Phoenix can do this.
That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright?
Go back to the start of the day. Try again. Wrong game. I can't believe I fell into another trap.
Ms. Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Carita. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
Absolutely. Look, if you were stunned by a murder, wouldn't you drop the glass, like, wholesale? Wouldn't you just, like, onto the ground with it? Like, gonna level with you. Sophia, bad news. It's fine.
What you just said makes a lot of sense. Now do you see, Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I felt long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from.
Another witness?
Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
Oh, Edgeworth, I'm so sorry.
What in the world is Edgeworth thinking?
Honey, I am so sorry that this is your witness.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
Witness, your name and occupation, please. Gotcha. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy. It's been what? A year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony. But who knew that under that helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand? Edgeworth! Rare composure loss! We love to see it! We love to see it! I'm sorry, Edgeworth's emotional stability is fine until... As long as everything is completely and totally normal, he's fine, and then all of a sudden... a little less fine! I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I'm gonna tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Ms. Witness, that terrible crime is all the court needs to know.
Oof! Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps!
Yes, madame.
No. Please, by all means, interrupt her. Please. Anyway. Witness, your testimony, please. Oh, it's true what they say that youth are hard-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Ms. Oldbag? Oh, it was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I had no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corrida. But those two were the same age. Yeah. Well, anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Her having no interest in a child, quote unquote, is better than some of the circus members. But no, see, you have to like spend an entire text box laughing at your own joke. See? Like that. I'm so good at this. Yeah, there you go. Oh, leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Well, anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of my poor Juan's room. He was on guard. Mad on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. You were actually funny. It's true.
So Mr. On Guard came out of the victim's room.
See? It has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Oh my golly. Okay. That much I believe. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for the trifling show, but I refused to help. I'll have you know, it was for that lead-headed samurai show. Heh, I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. What? What was it? Something you were interested in? And just what was that? Well, it's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know? It's top secret between me and Juan. Ah, and Edgy, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? If this has something to do with the case, then you can append it to your testimony. It looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
And did the witness say a day in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Oh? Then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Karita's room? I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
I see.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not recorded in the report.
I wasn't born. Full stop. Exactly.
Well, I wasn't born. I was brought into the world fully formed to cause Edgipoo as much distress as possible.
Honestly, sounds canon. I know, right? Wait until we play Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton. 10 out of 10 game. I love it. You guys are going to have such a fun time. We'll play through the Phoenix Wright series, and then I think we'll play Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton, and then I'll play the Apollo Justice games. The versus Professor Layton game was made later than the Apollo Justice games, but it stands alone, and I think it's really fun. Plus, you get to do the riddling stuff that the riddling. You got to riddle.
I do too. We will play the other Layton games.
Diabolical Box and Unwound Future, I think, are the ones in the original trilogy.
I don't. First try. I know, right? I don't like the prequel trilogy games. I don't like them very much. I find the riddles way too easy, and I find the story a little bit boring. It's interesting and all, but like, I really liked Curious Village, and the problem is that as the Layton games go on, the puzzles get easier and easier because people complained that Curious Village's puzzles were too hard. And, like, they didn't feel like they could solve them. So, like, you get Diabolical Box and Unwound Future, and those are fine. But then when you come around to... Val, to be fair, you are very smart. Surely they get easier because you got smarter. Val, you rolled up and were like, no, I get this clock one. You came up here and you were like, there's like 36 combinations or some like nonsense number. And I'm like, that's a nonsense number. There are not that many. And you were like, no, there are. And I was like, there's like 14. And then you were like, Fier, though, there's a bunch. And it's because I forgot that things like, it wanted to know on a digital clock how many times 3 numbers in sequence would show. And so I remembered things like 222, and then I remembered things like 1222, and 111 and 1111, but I didn't remember things like, I didn't remember things like 330, or, gosh. There were a bunch I just forgot. Oh, yeah, right. Like 1110. Like 1111 is one, but 1110 is also one. And so is 1113, 14, 15, 16, etc. And, so's 10 o'clock, which I straight forgot. 1555. Yeah. Actually, in Europe, the answer to that puzzle is different because they use the 24-hour clock. It's still a stupid, ridiculous number, but it is different. I know, right? I just didn't think of any of them. Worse is, I remembered things like 555 and 333, and then I remembered, like, one of them. I remembered, like, 1222. And then the rest I was like, burp. And I did not believe Val at all. I was like, 36 is... What are you talking about? That's crazy. And then I plugged it in and I was like, what do you mean that's right? Oh no, chat's smarter than I'm gonna let chat solve my riddles for me. Chat is not smarter than you. No, you are. You all are. See, don't you lie to me. You're gonna lie to me. You're gonna tell me you're not smart. Yeah, lying to me. Don't you lie. We've become a collective consciousness. Exactly. Listen, I have 9 brains, and they're not always thinking about the same thing, but that doesn't mean they're working as a team. They're still all me. Whereas with chat, I've got a team working. I've got everybody helping out. We got different brains on the subject with different experiences and therefore different thoughts about the problems. Chat was also the one to solve, the square puzzle I solved easily. I liked that. But Chat was also the one to solve a bunch of the other ones. And boy howdy, did I spend forever on that water pitcher, one. I'm so sorry, Chat. It took me forever. I knew what to do, and then at the very end I had it, and then I messed it up. That's true. One of those brains is definitely wikiing. Okay.
In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? Well, that's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of Paul Wan's room. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. And this sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Wan's room, he was... Yes, he was... I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now. Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. He was on guard. Mad on guard. He was trying to sneak away from Wan's room.
I don't believe you. Is this another case where he was dressed like the Steel Samurai? Why did you whip me? Why am I done got bonked? Oh wait, where's Francisco? Again! Oh, the whips are strong tonight. Oh, bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Okay, I'm better now. All towards Ms. Oldbag, I know.
You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yes, eh? Really? Annoying brat! When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get the sense of deja vu?
Because, you see, we did this in the Steel Samurai case, and I remember this part. I bet she saw somebody in the costume. Well, we weren't aiming for we were aiming for her. Don't know why you jumped into black. I would never. I'm 4 centimeters tall. Though I would get caught. Whips have a very strong wake. So if you were to crack one nearish me, I would definitely get caught in the wake of it. Can I have a whip? Probably not. Also, they do take quite a bit of skill to learn to wield properly and not hurt anybody. If I can't have a dagger, I want a whip. Dagger whip is just like the sorcerer loadout. 3.5 sorcerer, whip and dagger. We did it. Do they know how to use either of those things? Sure don't. Actually, whips are exotic weapons and daggers are No, daggers aren't martial. I think they count as simple. Been a long time since I've played 3.5, and I wouldn't like to play it again. Welcome in, Mr. Mozzie. We're up late tonight playing the video game. We got distracted partway through and spent like an hour talking about fanfiction instead. That's what I get for finishing... That's what I get for finishing, Tears of the Wisdom. No! Wrong thing. The Wisdom game yesterday. Fier, me want dagger. So I can kill a king. No. Which one? Doesn't matter. Echoes of Wisdom. This is correct. Yeah, I finished Echoes of Wisdom last night. That's why we're getting crochet streams back on Friday. Yeah, it was really fun. I liked playing as Zelda in a Zelda game. I liked that a lot. Haven't played as Zelda in a Zelda game since Spirit Tracks. Oh no! I was planning to watch the stream, but I needed to get my cat out of wires. Oh, kitties. Kitties don't know what's what. I might play Spirit Tracks for you guys at some point. I really like Spirit Tracks. It's good.
Maybe to avoid a mess like last year, I should delve into this a bit further.
I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna ask her what he was wearing. Could be fun. I want Fier to play in Stars in Time, but apparently we have too many RPGs going at the same time. I mean, we have FF6 and Bravely Default, but isn't Bravely Default coming to a close? Oh, Val! Val! Have you... I'm so sorry to tell you this. The prologue of Bravely Default is coming to a close. This is the end of Disc 1. We have started Disc 2. What is Spirit Tracks on? Spirit Tracks is a DS game. On the DS, they released Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Phantom Hourglass, family friendly, lol. Phantom Hourglass has, bear with me, has one of the most frustrating puzzles I have ever come across in my whole life. So, there is a point in Phantom Hourglass where you have to get... So what you've been doing is you've been going around and getting these symbols onto your map. There are symbols that look like the goddess symbols or elemental... the elemental treasures or whatever. It doesn't matter. The important thing is you have to get a green round thing onto your map. So your map comes up on the bottom screen, and on the top screen is the other map, but that map is like upside down. It's like a mirror image. And what you're supposed to get from that is that you close the DS and then open the DS. The problem is that that is used 0 other places. That's the only place that mechanic is ever touched in that game. Never again is it touched in that game. It's very clever. And once you know that that's what you're supposed to do, you're like, oh, I get why it's a mirrored image. That makes sense. But me, I was trying to do everything. I was trying to draw it in place. I was trying to draw different symbols that I'd learned from around the sea, like to get it to come down there. It was a wind symbol, so I tried to draw like a little tornado and stuff. I spent half an hour trying to figure that out. And then I closed the game and put it into sleep mode. And I set my DS aside. And then I came back like an hour and a half later because it was blinking on low battery. And I was like, oh no, I don't think I even saved. And then I plugged it in and then I opened it up. And it was like, yay, you solved the puzzle. And I'm like...
Body break.
But I did solve the puzzle. You mean it was as simple as close the thingy and open the thingy? I did it. Anyway, you can see that to this day I still tilt a little about it, just a touch. Anyway, we hydrate as chat demands. Baby Fier is a mood. I know, right? It's okay, I'm good. I was so mad at the time. I'm still mad now. I told you guys I do tilt about some games sometimes, just in weird places. You'd think I'd be upset, like, losing in a Splatoon game, but no, I don't care about that. I'm just like, no, I solved this puzzle. This is so silly. I hate this puzzle. Wah! And it was before I could get it. Just a touch. Yeah. All right, we do shoulder presses. Okay. If you have shoulders, this works great. If you don't, you just kind of like make the weights go up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we did it. Just a touch, yeah. I wonder what would happen if you played a frustrating game for us on stream. One day we'll play Getting Over It. And we'll see. I've been told that Getting Over It is either a 5-minute game or a 500-minute game. Or a game you throw in the garbage. But I know that it's the frustrating one. Oh, that's quite the frustrating game to choose. Bold move, I know, right? I was like, oh, if we're gonna play a frustrating game, we'll play Bennett Foddy. We'll do it. We'll hop. I don't actually have Getting Over It, so, One of these days we'll play That's Not My Neighbor, but not this day. Okay. We need to know. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. Fiera's my art good. Your in Stars and Time art especially is very good. So is your Dandy and the Ink Machine Security Breach Playhouse art. I forgot. Hornet, tell me when Silk Song releases. Shaw? Yeah. I forgot the name of the game again. I don't play Roblox, so I'm just like, meh.
What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket. Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too. That thing meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Humph! Man. Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
Yes! It was very important. Because if he was wearing the racing jacket, how was he wearing the hakama? How was he wearing the pants?
Of course it was important, Your Honor.
Fiera, I just realized how similar Highness and the lion from Kirby and the Forgotten Land are. I love the lion from Kirby! Hey, this is a family-friendly stream, old bag. Yeah! Or, more accurately, I like to think of it as being kind of PG-13-ish. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you all a story. Once upon a time, we didn't have this concept of over 18 DNI. There is certain content that is adults only, but we didn't have we didn't have quite the delineation. Oh, rules say family friendly. Oh, they do still. Yeah, I don't like people cussing in here. No cussing and no, nothing stronger than smooching, but I'm happy other than that. Sometimes the games are gonna have those things because I don't make the games. Ooh, yeah, the Lion in Forgotten Land did try to revive a god. And Highness do that. We did spend, like, an hour talking about shipping, though. Luke Carter isn't real and he can't hurt me. Also, he's also dead. He isn't real, but he is dead. Inscription's such a nice game. Oh yeah, I started playing horror games on here, but I like my psychological... Luke Carter in a fedora, Fier. Exactly. I started playing, like, psychological horror and stuff like Inscription and such. Why do you hate him so much? Okay, so there's a game called Inscription, which I love very dearly. The game part of it is very, very good, but Inscription is embedded in an ARG that the game maker really, really, really wanted people to like. And to that end, he put a bunch of short videos in there. There's a bunch of short videos in there starring a guy named Luke Carter. Like card games Carter, not like Carter. And so the framing device for the game is Luke finds a spooky haunted video game and you play the spooky haunted video game. I think I would have much preferred it if the framing device wasn't there. It is for some people. Some people like it a lot. It is not for me. I do not care for Luke as a person. His character arc is depressing. And, like, I really don't think it adds anything to the game for you to be put into Luke's shoes. I would prefer to stand in my own. I don't mind the "this is a haunted video game, here you go, play the haunted video game" trope. Oh no, is it ads? Was it an ad break? It was probably an ad break. I'm sorry, I can't always tell when they are. I really should get the robot to tell me. Just got back, lol. Yeah. So the thing about Luke is that he's the framing device for the game, and I think that takes away from it. I do like the "here is a haunted video game on your computer, have fun with the haunted video game," but I would prefer that haunted video game be on my computer, not Luke's. Tried to tell you subtly, but some streamers don't like chat complaining about the ads. That's fair. Chat, I don't mind when you guys put ad jail. Just to warn me that you're in ad jail. Which I know is probably a gateway to people being like, well, ads. But we all pay our dues to capitalism. That's not fair. I want to be haunted. Exactly. Or more accurately, I would prefer to be haunted. I don't want to have to think about what I think Luke would do, because Luke would do a stupid thing. He wouldn't delete Inscription. He was literally calling the news to be like, yo, this game is haunted. And they were like, sure, buddy. Like, I felt bad. I felt bad for all the characters in Inscription because I'm like, oh no, you digital people are people because there's a spooky code in here that makes you actually be alive and aware. That's horrifying and messed up, and I'm so sorry that I have to destroy literally your entire universe. Because, like, if I don't, then spooky, scary code gets into the world and does nebulous evil. But, like, we don't need the framing device for that. The game can stand on its own. And I was just like, I don't know why you wouldn't trust the game to stand on its own. The side story is not great. That, I will say, that is not everybody's opinion on Inscription. Of course, everyone's gonna have a different feeling on it. It's my opinion on Inscription. Game would have been better without Luke in it, without the framing device. Let the framing device, here's a spooky haunted video game. Doki Doki stood on here's a spooky video game that's not spooky at all. What are you talking about? This is fine. Luke didn't really detract from my enjoyment, but I get the complaints. Fair. When I played through that game for the first time, I wasn't expecting it, and it was fine, because the first time I played through that game, I had just finished rewatching Marble Hornets. So I was like, yeah, all right, we've got our boy here. He's discovered a spooky thing. Let our Alex Crayley, or protagonist guy whose name I forget every time, stand in here and be like, "Wah, this is fine." And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, no, actually, maybe it isn't fine. Maybe from a literary perspective, I don't actually like this. I was definitely playing more for the gameplay than the story. Exactly! I wanted Act 2 to be so much longer. Act 2 takes 5 minutes, because I picked the Magis deck, and I'm like, we're playing Magic the Gathering now. And none of you can stop me, because I know how to play Magic the Gathering. I know, right? Let us have a game that's just Act 2. Give us Act 2. Like, Act 2 of Inscription legitimately made me want to go back and play one of the old GBA Yu-Gi-Oh games. Like, straight up. I'm the only one here who didn't really care for Act 2. It wasn't bad, just not my taste. That's fair. I know a lot of folks complain that the game feels like 3 different games jammed together. And it's true, liking Act 2 is the unpopular option.
Then perhaps you'd like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth?
Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket to be appended to her testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but all right. Witness, please.
Well, I don't like to be badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must...
I loved all 3 of the game's Inscription. I know, right? I would have liked Inscription if I would have liked Act 2 if it was the game. But that's because I've played a lot of card battlers that's the game. Though now I really miss playing the DS Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't even remember what it was called. I just remember I fought Gazaburo Kaiba's ghost. And I had to beat him down so good. Because he had heckin' 20 turns in the battles over the card, which I hated. Yeah, they were all fun in different ways. Right, yes, something about testimony.
He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
Don't I have to be presenting something here? Wait, no, he can't have. It's the button I want, right? Because it can't be in his Hakama if he was... Where are you, button? It can't be in his costume if he was wearing the coat.
Ms. Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? It's button number 2 on the Jamin Ninja's costume.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it at a single glance.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this!
That thing doesn't actually do anything.
Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Engarde's body during a full-body search.
See? See?
This button proves beyond the shadow of doubt it was that rascal Engarde. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants.
See? See? And Engarde is the nickel samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. Phoenix, don't start off that way. Average fan behavior. To be fair, I'd also like a blood-covered button. Yeah. I'd like a crown. Staff will never give it to me.
But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt on guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. Well, if I wore the trendiest dress, then I'm gonna talk on about nonsense. And hideous outfits and terrible dresses and outfits and such and so on and so forth. And I talk way too fast for this poor little octopus to read. Because this is ridiculous. Now, hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. On Guard, the man, but Mr. On Guard, the Nickel Samurai.
Wow, is that what she really said? YouTube can rewind later. They can rewind the VOD. I think you might have mentioned that before, lol. Yeah. I might have mentioned that perhaps I would like a crown. Maybe Steph will get me a crown for Crimbus. That would be nice. Then we could complete... Never mind. Would a cool star halo suffice? I would like that too, but that's not a crown.
Oh, but when you think about it... They're really one and the same anyway. Ms. Oldbag, this is very important point we're talking about. Edgepoo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth thinking about. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Edgeworth can't do it. He's like 0 out of 10 emotional skills.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
All right, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Oh my golly. Wendy Oldbag is going to take 6 years to get through.
She's got so much talking to do.
On guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
Lock in for a 6-year-long stream, chat. Now we slow Wendy Oldbag's testimony down so that her regular testimony comes out at the speed, so that her, like, wild testimony comes out, and at regular speed, and her regular testimony comes out at, like, extra slow speed. So I can read all of it. Yeah, the worst, right? I'd have to get, like, the most long drawl. I'd have to get elocution lessons to do the most long drawl. Dedication, one could say. Yes, they could. I can.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Youngins today. I told you there's no way it would be anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so. And what I say is the truth.
Well, at least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Okay, I can solve this one, guys. We're not messing around with this testimony. I know the solution here. I think I remember. Okay. Okay, so he's wearing the costume. How did he leave fingerprints? I have questions. Knife! No, I've played these games a lot before. They used to be my comfort games in university, and boy howdy did finals make me play these games. Yeah, sometimes you are the guide, exactly. Sometimes, and you can tell the parts that I either didn't have trouble with, or like I just like breezed through. And sometimes I'm like, something says I have to do X here. I trust my judgment. Like presenting the glass. I was like, something says I have to present this glass here. It wasn't touched during the murder. It's the only thing the court hasn't seen. And I know that's what this is. I trust my judgment. And then we trust our judgment. Was it a guide? No. It was me trusting that I played this game. I played these games, like the original trilogy, on repeat. Like, oh golly. I came back to them like every 6 months because that's when finals were. Oh, sorry, less than every 6 months because the thing was short. So whenever we had to do finals, I would just take a break from my exams or from my paper writing, and I would play these. If you guys are curious about why, it's because when you play a video game, especially a visual novel like this, it's very low stakes and it gives you a sense of control and accomplishment. Knife! No! No! But knife! But knife! But knife! But knife! Knife? What have you got there? A knife! A knife! What did I tell you, chat? First try!
Please take a look at this.
Throwing on purpose to beat the using a guide allegations, are we? No. I'm just bad at this. I'm just so bad. I know the knife goes here somewhere. No, Val, it's jokes. Don't worry. Also, of course I am a living being. Definitely, yeah, don't worry. Just kind of ironic right after that convo low. I know, right?
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you're driving at?
That is exactly what I am driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
If Mr. Engard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Oh, that's right! The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
The judge is doing his best. He's a good guy. He's trying really hard. He's just also an old man.
He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing.
Why?
And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility.
Then let's hear your possibility.
It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
He might do that if he were stupid. Exactly! It's well known that the victim... It's well known that the defendant and the victim had bad blood between them.
Yes. I have heard of that. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight.
Welcome in, Raiders! Hello, everybody! Hi, Beat! Welcome in! Beat Spites are invading your server! Oh, no! We're being attacked by computer! Welcome in, everybody! IO, DS version! Yes, it is! We love the DS version around here. I don't actually have the remake, but I have all the DS games. Though, admittedly, this is an emulator. But I do have all the DS games. I just wanted to share them with all of you, and a capture card was too scary for me to put in the DS. I got spooked. I know, right? It's my favorite. We are on the last case of Justice for All. We're interrogating Wendy Oldbag about a knife and the Nickel Samurai. I have all of them, too, because I love them. Yes, I have these ones, and I have the Apollo Justice stuff. And I have Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, and we are going to play Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, because chat loves Layton and chat loves Phoenix Wright, so we're gonna do that. Eventually, we gotta get through so many other. And I have Investigations, which I have been playing. I played it on an emulator on my phone when I was in high school. Yeah, we love that. I used to play these games. When I got spooked. Whenever I was upset or doing finals or like stuff like that. So at the end of the semester, I absolutely would get these games out to feel better about myself. Best case of that game, I know, right? You have to get through the circus case to get to it, so sometimes people are like, but it is really good and fun, and Edgeworth's back. He's back. He's back, you guys. He's so good. We love him. Listen, the circus case is really long and Regina's precious, but everyone needs to go to jail. Maybe not everyone. We do love Max Galactica and his ample bust. We love Max's ample bust. Oh god, the circus is like the worst case of the whole series. I know, right? It took forever. I was honest to goodness shocked at how much of it I could get because, like, I don't like that case. Everyone but Regina deserves jail. I haven't played the games, but I have seen 3 of the musicals. Oh yes, the musicals! I almost forgot about them. I've seen a lot of the clips from of the silly things from the musicals. And they're gold. The musicals are gold. I want to see the whole things. Fier, you got any recordings of the musicals? I don't, but we can find them. We can do this. I found a full recording on YouTube. Yes! Yes, Japan gives us such nice things. Like musicals. So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. Oh wait, whoops. Forgore. I forgore my usual thing. Anyway, I'm Fiorlina, and I play games on the internet. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and if you've been here before, welcome back. You guys know me, most of yous. If you don't, I am a 4-centimeter tall octopus. I live in an aquarium. And streaming is my enrichment. This is what I do. I come out here and spend time with all of you. Aquarium staff won't let me out. Maybe someday they will. Probably never, but maybe someday. Yeah, we all like Ace Attorney, right? Yeah. We do love Ace Attorney.
So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory?
Yeah, I think there's a contradiction because he took the knife, right? Didn't...
Discord movie night.
Ooh, that's... Yeah, that sounds like a fun thing to do.
We'll see.
Discord movie night. Also movie night with the gals, gender neutral. I got so many movie nights to have. Oh no. The gals, TM, exactly. The gang. I feel like this one's the knife. I'm going for it. Like, either he brought the knife or he didn't. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
What are you babbling about?
Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Am I presenting the knife? I hope so. I've really wanted to prevent. I got Maragula tied up. Yeah, we do be mutes. Moots? How you pronounce that? How you say that one? Well, it's because Val and Momo are both on my Splatoon team also. Though, admittedly, I haven't been able to have practice in, like, months because aquarium staff is like, now you gotta work. And I was like, no, I don't wanna. And they were like, too bad. I was like, I don't wanna. And anyway, that's what happened. I'm gonna present the knife. It's done me well so far.
This knife. This was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he?
We are getting through this case at breakneck speed. Yes, it's knives. Listen, if I could just present knife for everything. Done, sold, solved.
Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1.
Ooh.
And one more thing.
Columbo! Oh, we have an issue? Knife! Exactly! Oh, there's gotta be a better way. Do you have problems with Demeter's cast? No, you don't. Knife! It's Demeter's cast! It's Demeter's cast of Phoenix Wright! We even have grandmother here to solve all our problems! Wendy Oldbag causing nothing but trouble!
If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't have been all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Don't compare Wendy to best grandmother Demeter. Demeter is not best grandmother. Demeter dead names her child. We don't like that in this house. I don't think she's called Persephone once. Well, she's the most powerful grandma, isn't she? Yeah. Wow, that's pretty cringe of her. I know, right? Okay, gonna hop out now. I've got highlights to schedule for tomorrow. Fair enough. Good night. Yes, it's very cringe of her indeed. Worse is we rock up. After we hear her do that, we rock up to Dad and we're like, who's this lady? And Dad's like, where did you hear that name? Like, you know how when you know one of your trans friends' dead names and some other person that you don't, like, some other person that has no business knowing that comes up and is like, so who's so-and-so? And you're like, where did you hear that? Who told you that name? Who told you who that was? And they're like, what? Paired on. Take that name out of your mouth, exactly. And they're like, excuse me, what? And you're like, darn right you do. You better excuse yourself because you're about You're about to excuse yourself right into my fist. Bang! You take that name out of your mouth or I'll take it out for you. Etc. Other threats that mean that same thing. And like... I'm pretty sure if Fear heard someone dead name me, that person would be a smudge on the pavement when she's done. For that, I would have to know your dead name at any point. Wait, no, I do. Open up, I'm removing your intestines. Yes. Listen, here's the thing about that. When I need people's paper names, which I've insistently called them, when I need people's paper names, I write them down on the paper they're needed for, and then once that paper is out of my sight, I have no idea what it says. Like, I, like, reverse memorize it. I don't know how to explain, but, like, I reverse memorize it. So I have no idea who's called anything anymore. Everyone here is their username. Like, it's getting so bad that I have banish it from recollection. Exactly. It's getting so bad that I have legitimately called Mint and Hoogie IRL though. Like, despite the fact that that is unrelated, like those are just their screen names. I have legitimately forgotten that too. And been like, oh wait, no, hold on. Those are your internet names. People have 3 names. They have a paper name, which is what you give the government. They have the name that you call them, which is the name that they're called in real life. And you've got an internet name. And those are your 3 names. If you work in business, sometimes you have a business name. I know I have a business name for working in business. And like, that's how I role play. That's how I LARP. I LARP my corporate Sona. It's like playing Shadowrun, but you don't get to see your own character sheet. Welcome in, Buttlace. Welcome in, everybody. Weren't we doing something? Oh yeah, the business center name, exactly. You go to the business factory where we make numbers.
Order! Order, I say, order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
To frame Matt. If you ever have the opportunity, don't drop my intername IRL. Well, of course not. Why? Why not? Okay, story time. Because I'm gonna press this button, it's gonna be funny. Story time. So, when you work in a contact center, sometimes you have to repeat people's emails back to them. And most people have really boring emails. They're things like first name, last name, like ... or whatever the heck, you know? But sometimes they're really funny. And let me tell you, you can tell the ones that made their email in like 7th grade and never changed it. I got a Hotmail address a couple of days ago that just, I think maybe the guy who made it didn't expect me to have to read it to him, or expected me to spell it out, but then I read it to him. And he was like, you could hear the other end, you could hear him suddenly change, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, so your email is completely inappropriate for this stream at hotmail.com? And he's just like, yeah, that's the one. I was like, yeah, it sure is, isn't it? Completely inappropriate. Funniest thing. I'm kidding, of course. You wouldn't like it, Val. It's not for Vals. I told you, completely inappropriate for this stream. It's to frame my client, Matt on guard, of course.
To frame.
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
I'm sorry. The tension's palpable and I can't. Aren't you forcing the interpretation a little too hard on this one? I'm trying really hard not to make the joke. Can't do it. I'll force something, all right. Moving on. Yeah. What joke? That one. I'm sorry. I can't do it, chat. Starsphere, you are insane. Yes, it's late night hours. I don't get it. Never mind. Never mind. But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume, and if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness? Oh, looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? Well, but I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? Adrian! Okay, I'm back. Definitely wasn't simping for a Roblox character. So what's happening? We are slowly getting Wendy Oldbag to tell us anything useful. That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Wong Kurita. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So Oldbag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita. Maybe. Phoenix! Maybe the Oldbag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Ms. Oldbag. You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Can I just post her? Is that my girl?
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
Helpful as always, Mia! Shrug! Yeah. It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is... Well, this is... Ah. I see.
The judge seems to be really into this article, if it can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews, without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff.
Witness? What in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation.
In secret, of course.
You better not call Lotta up here, I swear, if I have to interrogate Lotta, too, for this case. But I'm gonna have to interrogate Lotta, too, for this case, aren't I? I swear. I just... Why do I get the worst witnesses? I know, right? Getting Wendy Oldbag and then Lotta. Wow, I love how Mia is so direct with her hints. Me too. Stars, I need death. I don't. I need stars. I need stars to align. Oh yeah, right. I almost forgot. For those of you in America, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I will still be here because it is not Thanksgiving for me. Thanksgiving was before Halloween because I am in Canada. I understand that perhaps Thanksgiving is what you call not the greatest time for some of yous. I will still be here at like 11:30 Atlantic, so 10:30 Eastern as usual, and you can come vibe with me at the end of the day. If you need something to look forward to, and that's enough to look forward to, I will be here hanging out. So there is that. Also, I won't have any Thanksgiving stories, because it isn't Thanksgiving for me. Ho ho. So there's that. Let's see.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well, then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
If you need something for Thanksgiving, just watch a King of the Hill marathon. You know. Thanksgiving.
Ah, yes. We will barbecue the turkey. Or whatever.
Using our propane and propane accessories.
Etc.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you young'uns. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this, really. It's not like we're 10 years old.
I don't like the sound of her funny little ray gun. Sorry to tell all of you about that.
That on guard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
And the entire courtroom.
Bailiff, confiscate that prop. I know, right?
The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant. I'm pretty sure one of the musicals might be based on this case, maybe? Oh, I hope so. If Francisca can have her whip, Wendy can regrettably have her prop. It's true. Francisca actually hurts you with it. Never heard of that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right! On guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Phoenix, that's too many Tom Cruise references at once. Because the scandal just triggered a memory from the musical. Yes! Good!
Hey, Fiera, if I find the musicals, would you want to watch them with me and Momo? Absolutely. I need them in my life. I've seen Edgeworth's actor in the musicals, and oh my. I need them. I need them in my life. Alright, lady. I don't care to press that one. Yeah, we know this one too. Alright, tell me. A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Two of them are the same show, just a revamped production, and one is based off Just Edgeworth, and I didn't see that other one. Ooh, one based on Just Edgeworth, you say? That's probably why we got an investigations game, actually. Or the musical came after. But, I think... Found them? Oh, good. I'll link them in the GC. Oh, I'm back. Yeah! Oh, the internet decided to do that thing it does. Where it's like, lol.
Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that on guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity. So to do that, he sent his own manager in to get close with Juan.
Tell me, boy. You don't have any proof that Mr. Ongard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right, I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
Alright then, Sonny. Show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
I don't think I have anything.
I don't have anything to offer. See? Just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy. Me and my big mouth. That's the way the cookie crumbles. For you, anyway.
I know, right?
I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action.
Tell me about the action you took.
So, what did you mean by I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was gonna capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you young'uns need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was gonna make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this!
No, stop!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through that door that night.
You sure?
Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know, okay?
Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information?
Did she? Do you?
Chad, I think... You don't think...
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put camera. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? I don't think at all, actually.
I got 9 brains, and sometimes I don't use any of them. Stop!
Staff said you got that right.
Devastating. Devastated. Disappointed! You got, I know. Roasted by my own staff. You think they were hungry for octopus with how roasted I have become. This is why I have to stay positive.
If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that! Witness. I'm sad to say it, but this is how you found out about the secret, isn't it? I think this is it. I think she stole Lotta's camera with the note in it. The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart.
Oh, yes. I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you are the one who took Mrs. Hart's note? I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Etchapoo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come up with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once.
She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her?
No! She took... That's a sick burn, I know, right? It's all Edgeworth Scott. A real thinker. We used to get that when we were little. When we were small, we would be told, "Did you want some cheese?" And we would go, "Yeah." And they go, "Well, you can't have any, so stop it with that whining." And you'd go, "Oh," and then you'd cry more.
If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Ms. Oldbag.
I don't believe that the
Oh, whoops. Wrong one. I don't believe that the note is the only thing that you stole that night. Can I just present the camera? It worked on the knife. It worked on the knife. Ms. Oldbag, that note was written on with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me.
Why? Why? Witness!
What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it's only logical that you should have the camera too.
Oh, I'm done in literally 2 minutes. And then we'll wander off to somebody else's channel. So if you've got 2 more minutes, you can stick around for the adventures. And the points that you get from going on adventures. Wah! We hydrate as chat demands. And a... Well, I guess I gotta stay for the raid, right?
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? That's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it and said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things, etc.
Bailiff! Check the camera's photos. Hurry! We must examine them at once.
Is this a save point? Please let this be a save point. It isn't.
Well, let us go on a little adventure. Because, as you all know, it is closing time and we hope you enjoyed your visit to the octopus enclosure. Oh, I should save this game. Yes. I haven't thought of a raid message yet. I will someday. Whoa, such a cliffhanger. We'll see what's in those pictures later. Maybe it's Spider-Man. Okay. Let's see who's on at this hour of the night. Oh, my face still up. It's late night. Who is up?
Sometimes I forget how late night it is.
Crime scene cleaners! Let's go. If April is up and still... Okay.
We will go do more crimes.
Okay. We will go from solving crimes to doing them. That's it for tonight, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow for Guild Wars 2. We're going to do adventures. We're back to the usual story because I am going on adventures in Janthir, but not right now. We'll go back to the usual story playthrough. I forget where we are with the usual... Oh, we're in Biora Marches. Hooray!
I don't know if you remember, but you might want to remove family friendly from the rules. You are correct. Family friendly is not quite correct anymore. I took it out of most of the places, but I forgot my rules.
Okay, I will see you all next time. Thanks for playing along with me, everybody.